Hi, it's Miss Pritzel at the Appleton West Library, and I am book talking a realistic fiction book called Emmy and Oliver, and the author is Robin Benway. I read several of Robin Benway's books this summer, and the two that stuck with me most are Far from the Tree, which was a National Book Award winner, awesome book. But this one really stuck with me too, and it's the concept that it's based on. So it's one of those where I'm like, was she inspired by something that happened in the news? So Emmy and Oliver are next door neighbors, best friends, actually share the same birthday, born in the same hospital. What are the chances of that? But in second grade, Oliver is leaving school and he gets in a sports car and drives away, and his dad abducts him. And 10 years later, they still don't know what's happened to Oliver. So you have to imagine what is the effect on Emmy's life, losing her best friend, but also her parents have become super overprotective. So her life has really been drastically changed by this. And so we've got all that. And then what happens is that Oliver is found. And, dad gets away, but somebody recognizes Oliver, and he's found and he's brought back home. And here he is. He's brought back home to the same house that he grew up in, at least up until second grade. He never knew his father had abducted him. He didn't realize that. His mother's remarried and has, I believe, a set of twins. So he now has these half brother and sister. And then also his relationship with Emmy. And trying to work all this out is like, to me, this is what I remember most about this book. Emmy was turns out to be the one person he can talk to. So throughout the time I was reading this book, I was just trying to imagine, what if this happened to somebody I knew? And you're trying to imagine the feelings of all these different people involved, and then these teenagers that, he wasn't aware, and he doesn't think of his dad as a bad guy. He realizes what his dad did was wrong, and that comes in to play again later in the book. But it was really just the concept of it, dealing with this rough issue. You'd think it'd be to grab up, cry tears, but despite the fact that it dealt with this really tough issue, I felt like I left going, this book made me feel hopeful about humanity and people and all those things. Like, bad things happen, but we all, how we all cope and struggle through it. And this book and Far from the Tree, both I felt in a way should have been total tearjerkers. And it's not that I didn't get all at times, but I left them, and I still feel this way, that I feel more hopeful about, and more like I understand life better and feel better about things having read these books. So I really have enjoyed the books of hers that I've read. And like I said, the two that I remember the most are this one and Far from the Tree. So if realistic fiction is your genre, you might want to read this one or something else. Remember, I love to help people find books that they want to read. So if this is not your genre, I'll help you find something else, because it's my job to keep everybody reading. Have a fantastic day.